So with the corpse effect that multi-mode enemies have, whenever an enemy is killed, it will summon a molten corpse on death and a mobile enemy with high defense da-da-da. When the update first occurred, they were basically unkillable. So you couldn't kill the molten corpses. They were just on the path forever. That was quickly fixed after realization, like within an hour after the update. That's what the updates on Wednesdays are for. Bug fixes like this right after update, so that it doesn't go into the next day and that being a Sunday or Saturday, the weekends. However, there was another bug. So for all engineer skins with custom sentries, it was reverted to the default for that. And apparently, the war machine damage got buffed as well. The damage buff got fixed. Now, back with the damage buff updates on the 21st of June, there was a glitch where splash damage was affected by damage buffs. This is no longer the case, and the damage buff that could be applied to engineers, which applied to the splash damage for the war machine, no longer applies here. Interestingly, that was the war machine. I don't know about the other units, because those units with splash damage could be boosted by damage buffs. I'd assume that they were fixed as well if they applied the fix to the engineer. It does show us that units can be buffed by, say, like fire rate buffs or damage buffs if the splash damage could. If only the developers tried hard enough. At this point, it's now a restriction on units themselves that they cannot be buffed by damage buffs because it's just too hard to, I guess, balance them out, which is fair enough. Also, according to Menton, the engineer apparently looks like got fixed, but then it's not. It just appears to be random. Additionally, the difficulty selects music in the game when you spawn into the game. That's been fixed. Also, on the badge sections, there have been a couple of changes. Firstly, the most major change, the Imposter badge, the suspicious badge. Yeah, it's no longer here. That's not here anymore. It's so recently changed that it's actually still on the thing as still being available, but the last time that people got it was the 12th of November, so that was probably an admin spawning it in. Before that, there was all sparse, and like a couple of people did get it, but ever since the April Fool's update, and ever since it was re-added, it's not here anymore. Only I'd say less than 100 people have got it, so I think it's going to remain at 41,081. It's been disabled. This does mean if you go into rewards and search for the Imposter badge or the EXP that it gave, because it used to be the Golden Titan badge, it's no longer here. It's been, again, disabled. So you can't do that. Interestingly, also the Fallen King badge has been disabled. So actually, there are now only 2 game modes, regular game modes, of the 5 that are in the game that you can claim EXP for, that being the Gravedigger and the Molten Warlord. And even the Molten Warlord, its EXP is based on the original Molten Mode EXP or difficulty. Otherwise, it would be much harder. So it's like this badge section here, it ought to be removed. I should probably make a video on why this should be removed, because it's like, what, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 badges here. So it's like, what's the point? Genuinely, what's the point anymore? I mean, apart from the deluxe crate. Some updates to the badges themselves. Gravedigger, that's had some changes. So as you can see here, it's got a new badge icon. The Molten Boss badge has been reworked into the Molten Warlord badge, and it's not really changed. It says, well, that was a pretty heated battle. It now has less triumphs than the Fallen King yesterday. Then again, it could just be people replaying the current harder mode. So all of those people already had the Molten Mode badge. So technically this 15 million figure here, that's quite misleading, because that's everyone who beat Molten Mode all the way back from 2019 until now, and only now has gotten harder, so that even this, it's like, what, 7 million? Is 7 million people going to really catch up to the 15 million that the Molten Warlord will have just by chance that it just inherited the original Molten Boss badge? Probably not. It'll take a long while. But as you can see, more people have beaten the Nuclear Monster, more people have beaten the Gunslinger, more people have beaten Wax the Fox. So for people saying that Molten Warlord isn't that difficult, on the statistics we see right now, it apparently is. Some other changes to badges, the level 150 badge no longer mentions getting the Mercenary base, and for the Pursuit level 100, it doesn't mention getting the Pursuit anymore. Now, that seems, I think, pretty obvious why that's the case. They're making they're making the towers cost coins, and it looks like the Mercenary base is next on the chopping block, guys. So if you haven't reached 150, go get it quick. Yeah, level 100 no longer says you get the Pursuit badge, but interestingly, level 75 and level 50 and level 30 do. So what I think is maybe level 30, 50, and 75, they'll keep the free, quotes, tower augmentating methods. But for the Pursuit, for the Mercenary base, and for the Gatling gun, those will no longer be, quote, free. I mean, 2 of them aren't free now anyways, but there are free methods to get the Pursuit, and the Mercenary base is still free. They'll probably cost coins in the future. We'll just have to wait and see when that's the case. Also, interestingly, there is an intermediate mode badge, there is a Molten mode badge, there is a easy mode badge, there is a Fallen mode badge. There is no casual mode badge. I suspect that there'll be some changes in the future to casual mode because it just seems a bit rushed. We'll just have to see on that. Some changes to survival, obviously, with the 5 game modes now. So multi-mode has been moved up here with a new icon. Intermediate now has a different icon, and casual mode has the original icon as before. Interestingly, casual mode has sort of, I would say, like a rage mode patient 0, because that's like the red veins and everything. Intermediate has the red veins pop out more. Interestingly, casual mode doesn't have... I've never seen the rage mode initiate on patient 0 in casual mode. I don't think it exists on patient 0 in casual mode, so this picture's actually inaccurate, but it does seem really odd that there's a casual patient 0 and then an intermediate patient 0, and you can barely tell the difference. I mean, here, it looks like there's more green on its arms compared to here, when it's not the case. I think they use the same models. It's just that this one can go rage mode, this one can't. Interestingly, on the supercomputer that changes the maps, you can actually get Abyssal Trench and one other map that was missing. I forgot what map it is. Previously, you couldn't actually get Abyssal Trench for some reason. You can now get it. I think I'll have to try and remember where it was. Oh, I don't know. Menton's probably said it before in a previous video and I've just forgotten about it. Oh well. In fact, you can see here, the casual mode doesn't have the red veins, but then intermediate mode does have the red vein, so actually this is more accurate. Easy mode has gotten a picture change as well. It's now got the Gravedigger. Casual mode has new on the thing, and Molten has revamped on the thing. Meanwhile, on hardcore mode, there used to be, I believe, Unknown Garden was missing, and now it's here, so you can vote for it in these supercomputers now. The community maps, for some reason, are still here, even though you can't actually play hardcore mode on those. You can still try and vote for them, it just says invalid map, so I don't know why they're still here. Developers, fix that, please. The hazmat has gotten to change in intermediate mode. It's got in all maps all modes where it appears, so that's casual and intermediate mode. In intermediate mode, it has changed appearance. Interestingly, casual mode has 150, the same as it was in intermediate, and Molten has 200, so it's a slight buff. Interestingly, in intermediate mode, the hidden boss has changed health from 600 to 700. Interestingly, not really mentioned, and in multi-mode it's increased from 450 to 700. There are a load of multi-mode changes, obviously, with the enemy health, but yeah, that's weird. Casual mode has 700 health, which was more than intermediate mode used to have, and it seems like casual mode is a weird mix of easy and intermediate mode, and multi-mode's bits weird. Bug fix with the speedy boss. When killed in modes that didn't generate cash on damage, only when enemies were killed, the speedy boss only gave $5, which was a slap in the face if you ask me, but now it's been fixed to $800. The amount that it should have had, like, it has 1,300 health, and, you know, should give out 800 instead of 5 cash. In fact, there was an error. It was actually an error in the code where the speedy boss doesn't have a set statistic for cash given on death. There are probably some other changes, like, for example, the in range has changed health from 65 to 75 in intermediate mode. It's just that these are minor changes to intermediate mode. They're not entire rebalances. In fact, if you ask me, it just seems like intermediate mode has not really changed all too much, and anything that has changed is because there have been changes in either multi-mode or casual mode that have increased the health of enemies here. Otherwise, there's been no changes. By the way, this does now mean the mystery bosses and the mysteries themselves, they no longer appear in the game, apart from hardcore mode and 2 challenges, which haven't been updated yet. Really sad, I guess. Boo-hoo. In fact, you don't even see them unless the map doesn't have enemies beta. So at this point, the mysteries are dead. It's very cool. Meanwhile, for something like the hidden enemies, the cash given is now based on the mode it is. So 5 death on tutorial, 15 on easy mode, 20 on casual and intermediate modes, and 25 on multi mode. Interestingly here, it says that enemies that have the multiple corpse modifier revive as an idle statue. Revive as a descriptor to me seems you become alive again. That's what revive means. Revive literally has the "ive" at the end. Alive. No, you don't become alive. They don't revive as an idle statue. They just weeping angel static thing, and it's not reviving in my opinion. No.